Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am still sick, but I got my coffee to get me going. It's fantastic. In today's video, we're going to be playing around with a bunch of products from Makeup Revolution. You may or may not have heard of them. They recently had this whole big thing with their concealers called the Revolution Conceal and Define, and so many people were comparing these to the Tarte Shape Tape concealers, making videos. They went all crazy and viral. So of course I had to order them, and I've had these for a really long time. So I've been using them, it's been in my collection, but I haven't really talked about them on my channel, I don't think. I've also had these palettes even longer that I still haven't used, and I've been really excited to. I just have really not gotten around to making a video about Makeup Revolution. But the main reason I'm finally doing this video is because they came out with a new foundation. It's called the Fast Base Stick Foundation. And I'm like a foundation junkie, you guys may know this, but I love complexion products so much and I love testing them out more than anything. So this video is going to be pretty much kind of like a wear test and review on the foundations, along with using a lot of other Makeup Revolution products. If you guys are interested, let's get into the video. I ordered 4 shades of the foundation. I got F1, F2, F3, and F4, the first 4 lightest shades. I'm really hoping at least one of them matches my skin. Here is F1, F2, F3, and I guess I'll do F4 up here, and this is F4. F1 is definitely going to be too light on me, and then F2 and F3, they're very similar, but F3 is definitely a lot more pink tone, which I do not like at all. F2 actually looks nice, has more of a yellow tone to it, but still looks very pale. And then we have F4 up here, which has a little bit more of like a peachiness to it. I'm in between F4 and F2, like which one I want to put on my face. So let me take this off really quick and let's get started. I also forgot to mention that I ordered this little brush and a sponge set from Makeup Revolution, and honestly, first of all, the brushes are super pretty. I really like the rose gold metallic. This brush right here, I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. It is like tiny and super dense. Whatever I blend with this is going to come off. But I really like these brushes a lot. This is going to be perfect for highlighters, small points. You can blend out your nose contour or anything like that. This one kind of reminds me of the Morphe G6 brush. It's just a little bit more slanted, but they definitely feel very similar. This is super soft. It's dense but not too dense. I really like that. I'm going to try to blend out my foundation with this today, along with the sponge, which I've wet this and it's really not that bad. I'm going to start with the shade F4. I'm going to use the brush to blend this side out. I don't really like the shade because it's kind of way too peachy pink for me. But wow, that blended out really easily on my skin, very effortlessly, and it looks so pretty. Whoa, I hate the color, but it looks really pretty on the skin. I just realized I was so excited to put the foundation on that I didn't tell you guys anything about the actual foundation. You can use a sponge or your favorite foundation brush. Okay, so it's not meant to have a matte finish to it. I'm gonna take the shade F2 and just kind of apply that in the areas that I want to brighten a little bit more and see if that kind of helps the shade. The coverage definitely is a full medium buildable situation, which I'm really liking. I feel like it's covering everything I need it to. It's not clinging to any dry spots. It's not emphasizing any pores. It pretty much looks like skin. Flawless, perfect skin. So I'm doing the same thing to the other side. I'm taking F4 and I'm gonna blend it out with a sponge this time. Something tells me I'm gonna like the brush a lot better. I don't know, I feel like I'm getting a little less coverage and it's taking me forever to blend it out. The brush was so much quicker. I'm going back to my brush because I really like how this blends out a lot better, and I actually really love this brush a lot. So here's a little close-up on what my skin looks like with just the foundation on my skin. I know I need some concealer on my eyes, but I think it looks really pretty. It looks very dewy and natural and fresh. I would definitely set this. I'm just not the type of person to leave foundations on set, so I think it looks really pretty. I'm going to go into concealer. I'm using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer in the shade C2. And I'm going to basically just focus this around my eyes. I don't want to put concealer all over my face because I really want to see how the foundation performs. It is a very creamy, thicker concealer. It does definitely have nice coverage. like people mention, like it is very similar to the Tarte Shape Tape. I don't have any like issues with it like creasing or being weird or doing anything like that. I think overall it's a really nice concealer, and for the price, like you honestly can't beat that. I'm gonna blend out my concealer with the sponge and see how that goes. The sponge is not bad, but I feel like it's removing kind of the coverage of whatever I'm blending it with, because I know this concealer has more coverage than that, so I think I'm gonna go back in with a brush and just add a little bit more. Foundation and concealer is on. So far everything still looks really good. For as dewy as my skin is, I am kind of surprised it's not like separating or creasing on my skin. It still looks really, really pretty. So I'm just gonna go in with my Mercier and just set my face real quick. As you guys can see, the powder definitely matted my skin out. It's no longer like shiny and dewy. I'm happy with the way it looks still. It's not super cakey. The powder didn't like cling. It didn't do anything weird. My skin actually looks so smooth. I have these very stubborn dark scars on my cheeks, which seem to be like peeking through a little. I personally don't really mind, but my skin looks so flawless. I definitely could have gone over with concealer, but I just chose not to. So far, the only negative I have about this foundation is the tone of it, like the shade. I should just wear my shirt like this today. For my bronzer, I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Bronze and Glow palette. This is what it looks like inside. I've used the heck out of this. You have a highlighter and a bronzer. This highlighter, by the way, is blinding. It's absolutely beautiful. I do have a highlighter palette to test out today, so I won't be using the highlight, even though it's amazing, but I will be taking the bronzer shade, which is absolutely beautiful. Just gonna pop this on my cheek. It's a really pretty warm matte brown, but it's not like super orangey warm. It's just like the right amount of warmth. I said warm so many times. I feel like I always look so pale, washed out, and sick until I get to the bronzing portion of my videos, but that's just like story of my life. I'm just embracing the pale. I used to want to be so tan, but it's honestly not worth it, and it takes way too much time. Super high maintenance. I don't have time for that. For my blush, I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution The Matte Blush. I believe this is in the shade of Fusion. I think that's the name of the color. But it's this really pretty rosy, like deeper rosy shade. It's a matte blush, which I personally love. I have been using this. This is in my collection. You need a little bit because it goes a long way. Take a very tiny amount. The first time I used this blush was a disaster. Before I get into the blinding highlight, I have this Strobe Highlight in the shade Moon Glow Lights, and it's a really cool little design. Kind of reminds me of the Mercier highlighters, I think. Is that the one? I don't know. Basically what this is, I have used this before. It's kind of a really soft, luminous powder. Kind of reminds me of the Hourglass Ambient powders and not the like highlighters. When you blend it out, it kind of gives your skin a very luminous glow, but it's not like highlight. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that on like little fluffy small brush. I'm gonna take just a small amount of it, dust it off, and I'm just going to gently kind of go where I would put highlight, but kind of diffuse it into my skin. You see that like tiny little hint of glow? I like it. Makeup Revolution did a little collab with Soph. She has a YouTube channel. It's called Soph Does Nails, and she created a highlight palette and the eyeshadow palette I'm going to use today as well. These are the shades inside. I remember swatching one of them, and they're so, ooh, they are soft and so pigmented. Those are really pretty. Oh my god, I'm so excited right now. Kind of have a variety of powders in here. These kind of have this foiled texture to them, and these ones are more like very soft pressed highlight powders like that you would normally see. These just look a little bit more different. I think they're just pressed different. Ooh, whoa, oh my god. What the heck? I think I'm gonna start off with maybe this shade right here, like the normal of the looking ones, and then maybe I'll go over top with like one of the more foiled looking ones. I'm taking my BH Cosmetics 140 brush. I'm gonna dust that off a little bit. I'm gonna pop that on the cheek. Ooh, ooh. I like it. It's like really smooth on the skin. Like I love when highlighters don't like emphasize your pores or have like chunks in it. There's actually no, there's absolutely no like glitter particles. That's beautiful. I guess on this side, let's try this more foiled golden one and see how they kind of like differ on application. I have a feeling these ones are way more like intense. Oh shoot. Oh my god, oh yeah. And again, even though it's more intense, it's still not chunky looking. It looks really pretty. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this one to this side and this one to this side because like when I try different highlighters, I feel so crooked. Like I feel off. I gotta match it. They are glowing. I had to stop myself before I coated my entire face. Soph also collaborated with Makeup Revolution to create an eyeshadow along with the highlighter palette. And again, I've been wanting to use this palette for such a long time. I think the colors in it are so pretty. You have so many nice neutral matte shades, a warm and cool, and you have all these gorgeous jewel tone metallic-y foiled shadows. I am going somewhere today and I have errands to run and people to see, so I'm not gonna really do anything like too crazy on my eyes just for the sake of like, it's noon and I have a lot to do today and I don't want to rock like crazy bold eyes. So I'm gonna do something pretty like neutral and soft, but I will swatch some of the really bright colors for you guys to see what they look like. Also, I really love how humongous this mirror is inside this palette. Like it takes up the whole thing. I'm starting off with this shade called Fairy Lights and I'm popping this underneath my brow bone for a highlight shade. Ooh, that's really pretty. It's very, very glowy. I'm also gonna take that on the inner corners of my eyes just to wake it up a little bit because Lord knows I need it. I just read the name of the next eyeshadow I was gonna use and I'm just, it's fate. It's meant to be. I love this palette even more. The shade right here is called Iced Coffee. So perfect. I'm taking it on my Mysterious Morphe blending brush and just popping this in my crease as a very soft transition shade. That's actually really pretty. It's like perfect for like an everyday, like if I just left a look like this and added some mascara, that's generally my everyday thing. I'm gonna go into the shade right here. It's called Pug. It's kind of like a more neutral taupey brown. It's not like super warm, and I actually really like that a lot. I don't see shades like that in palettes very often. And I'm gonna pop this into the crease as well. I'm gonna take a mixture of these two brown shades, and this is called Mug Cake and this is called Rosewood. These mattes are not patchy whatsoever and they blend out really nicely. I'm going to take the same mixture of those two browns and apply that on my lower lash line. Last matte shadow I want to use is this one right here. It's called Cup of Tea and it's this really warm caramel brown, and I'm just going to gently apply that to the outer parts of my eyes. Ooh, that's such a pretty color. Ooh. Good choice, Jess, good choice. We have so many beautiful metallic foiled shadows for the lid, but like I mentioned, I'm gonna do something a little bit more neutral today because I am going to run some errands and I don't wanna look crazy. I'm gonna go to this really pretty golden shade. It's called Sparks Fly, and I'm gonna pop this on my lids. I'm very excited to see how these go on. They kind of go on my brush like a cream shadow, which is very, very interesting. So I have very high hopes for the, oh my god. What? I'm gonna apply this more towards like the inner half of my eye, and in like the center outer part I'm gonna apply a little bit of a more bronzy color. I'm gonna take the color right next to it called Smoky Bronze, and I'm gonna take it on the same brush. If you pick up these more metallic ones a little too heavily, they do crumble, but they're also very creamy at the same time, which is very interesting. I can't imagine if you wet these shadows, they're gonna be so intense. I'm really sorry if I disappointed anybody and you guys wanted to see the jewel tones, but I will swatch these on my finger to share with you guys really quickly. And like I said, if you guys want me to do a video creating a different look with this palette, ooh, so pretty. Let me swatch it. Ooh, this one's like a duochrome. So here are some of the more vibrant shades. This is like a blue-brown shadow, like a duochrome, and that green, oh my god, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply some mascara. This is my Stila Huge Extreme Lash Mascara. While I'm doing my mascara, I thought I would tell you guys how I feel about the foundation since I'm looking so up close on my skin. My forehead is so freaking smooth, you guys. I have a lot of expression lines and I get creasing on my forehead and in between my eyebrows like ASAP, and it's so smooth. There's no texture, no lines. It hasn't like creased anywhere else on my face, and my skin looks so smooth and perfect. Like, I'm actually so shocked. As soon as I'm done with my mascara, I will definitely do a close-up on what my skin looks like, but you guys, I'm like so happy. I'm so happy. So here is a close-up on my skin. I've obviously had the foundation on for quite a while now while I was doing the rest of my makeup, but I don't know if you guys can tell, like, it's so beautiful. It looks so smooth and flawless. I'm just like so shocked. Like, I think this looks absolutely beautiful. I'm really hoping that it holds up really nicely throughout the day. So we're gonna find out. Very excited. To finish off the look, we have lipstick, and I picked up 2 lipsticks from Makeup Revolution. This one is in the shade Elite. I don't know this collection's name, but it has like sparkly gold packaging. This is such a beautiful shade. Let me swatch on the back of my hand. Oh wow, that's a lot more nude than I was thinking. Ooh. And then I have this lipstick right here, which the packaging is so pretty. It's like this rose gold, very much reminds me of Charlotte Tilbury's packaging. It looks very luxury, and you have the shade on the bottom right here. So this color, whoa, it looks really similar, but a little bit more peachy. Why did I get like 2 of the nudist? Oh no, I don't like it. That's this color right there. That is way too nude. Oh man, well the packaging is so pretty, and they do have like a bunch of different colors, but that is going to be way too nude on me. So I'm going to go ahead and try the other lipstick. I'm going to go into my MAC Boldly Bare lip pencil first. I think it would look really nice with this lipstick. Now let's go into the lipstick. I'm going to sound so crazy right now, but this has like a very slight sweet smell to it, but not like vanilla. It kind of smells like, oh my god, I sound like really weird right now. Back in the day, I used to have a doll, and she was like one of those, not like baby dolls, but like just a doll, and her skin, like the plastic of her skin, had this sweet smell to it. Please, somebody in the comments, if you know what I mean, like some dolls had a sweet smell to like the plastic. Alright, I sound cuckoo loco, but honestly, like that's what it smells like. And it smells so good. Besides the scent, it went on really nicely. It feels so good, very hydrating and smooth, very creamy and pigmented. The color alone I feel like would be a little bit too nude on me, but with the lip liner it looks absolutely gorgeous. The skin is flawless, it's beautiful, that highlight is glowing, the smoky bronzy eyes and the lips. I think everything looks so beautiful all together. I'm so incredibly happy with the way the look turned out in the products that I used today. I don't have like a negative with anything I've tried. Maybe the sponge just like wasn't my favorite, but I actually really love this brush a lot. But other than that, I'm really excited to test out this foundation. I have a pretty high hopes for it, so I hope I'm not disappointed. Right now it is 1:34 p.m. I don't know if you guys can see. I sat down at like 11:45. I'm gonna go on with the rest of my day. I have quite a bit to do today. I will try to do like a check-in, maybe like in between, but if I forget, I will definitely be back at the end of the night to share with you guys my final thoughts on the foundation. I won't be right back here in this exact spot, but I will get it for you guys nonetheless. It's about 6:36 p.m. I've had this foundation on for about 5 hours now, and I can tell maybe around my nose it's kind of fading, but I have been touching my nose today because I'm a little bit sick. But for the most part, it still looks pretty smooth. It's not oily, greasy, or dry. And wow, I have like no creasing on my forehead. I don't know if you guys can see. Coverage is still there. Highlight's still popping. I think it looks pretty decent, I gotta say. But 5 hours, not too bad. I'm gonna continue to wear this much longer, and I will do another check-in for you guys then. I'm back for my final check-in. I'm filming on my phone, so hopefully like the quality and the lighting is okay. I tried to find a spot. I'm like progressively losing my voice more and more as the night is going, and I just want to wash my face off and get comfortable and relax. I'm so tired. But I just checked myself out in the mirror, and I have to say, you guys, my face hasn't really changed since the last time I talked to you guys at my kind of like 5-hour check-in. Still pretty much have all the coverage. My skin still looks really flawless. I have absolutely no creasing on my forehead and in between my eyebrows, which is so crazy. My boyfriend even made a comment saying, wow, your foundation looks really good. I didn't even tell him I was testing out a foundation today. So if he thinks it looks good, that's a really good sign, because he very rarely actually compliments my foundation. So the foundation shade, I have to say, was and is still off. I feel like I could make it work. I think it looks worse in like natural lighting, but if you're like indoors, it's totally fine. Besides wiping around my lips to take off my lipstick and my nose, it's still intact and my skin still looks really good. Of course, it looks a little bit more makeup-y as obviously 9 hours have progressed, but it looks so good. I don't know if you guys can tell through the phone. But do you see this highlight still popping though? I think this foundation would actually suit a lot of different skin types. If you have super dry skin, you guys saw in the beginning of the video when I first applied it, it was pretty dewy. But if you don't want to set it or you just want a little bit of powder, you can definitely do that, and it'd be really nice for dry skin. If you have super oily skin, I would say it could still work, because once I set it with powder, it definitely matted down and it hasn't really gotten oily or greasy looking throughout the day, which is really nice. So maybe go in with a really nice mattifying primer and definitely set your foundation. I'm just really excited about this foundation. It held up so nicely and I'm so glad, because I really had high hopes for it. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I feel so weird filming on my phone. I feel like I've never done this before. It feels so awkward. Like, I don't know where to look. I hope I'm looking in the right place. Anyways, here's my little send off from my phone. Thank you guys so much for watching. As usual, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, mesijesibeauty, Snapchat, JesiJet, even though no one is on there anymore. Literally, like seriously, no one's on there anymore. But you guys can follow me on Instagram at Makeup by Jesi. I'm always posting on the stories there and pictures and such. And if you guys have not subscribed to my channel already, I'd appreciate it if you guys do so before you go. I'm losing my voice and my breath. Gosh, I'm so tired. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.